morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world.
Yes, hello.
You're like, what's happening with everybody? Everybody like, I don't know what's happening. But glad that you are with us today. So we got some things that we're going to try to do a little different today. As far as we'll talk about a little bit of news, and then as we're going through, we're actually going to actually share with you all a little bit as far as how we'll kind of look at some of the projects and give you guys a few tips. And so that's what we're gonna. That's the plan for today. Literally, as far as NFTs, I think we Jessica and I have been saying the same thing. Um, this past week or so, or week or two, should I say, in regards to some of the stuff we're just kind of sitting to the side and trying to buy in on some of the projects that we truly believe in. Because
Yeah,
as the market is somewhat down, this is some of the opportunities of where you'll be able to capitalize. And again, no, we don't have the crystal ball to say when it's going to go back up, but at the same time, with some of the projects that are out there, I think if you're invested in some of those good projects, those some of those will definitely do some rebounding. Okay, as far as
yeah.
I'm concerned.
Waiting that bear market out. So
Yep. So, but they're still they're still. I still even think I know because we keep talking about the bear market, but there's still opportunity. I mean, when you look at us being in the bear market, there are still people who are out making money. I think part of that is that they're just being selective. I think we were sharing it even with like some of the different shoes that you could buy, some of the pods and stuff you could buy. And even if because of the price of Ethereum, I think sometimes people just forget that aspect of, hey, because Ethereum is still trying to move up a little bit. If you're buying some of these projects, let's say if you're buying at 1 ETH, if the movement of Ethereum can definitely help you in the equation of being able to make some additional funds by that price going up. So
yeah, like you said with the shoes, people were able to get those almost at like 900 when ETH was down 1100, and
yeah,
now it moved up to 1600. So some people are sitting good and stuff, or flipped in and out. Just depends on what you're trying to do in the market. But yeah, that's a great one to even like go over. For them to be
yeah.
able to make some money and make some flips, or just pick some projects up that they haven't been able to get because they've been so high.
Because everybody, and then it's going to happen because it happens every year. Even when you look at like last year, when the market was down, and everybody was like, "Well, man," And then like hypothetically, even like when you looked at the space drips, some people bought them back in was it July time frame of last year, and then in the peak time, they bought it for $1,500, but during the peak time, they were high as $50,000, $60,000. And so I think sometimes it is scary. I'm not going to sit here and say people aren't. I mean, I think if you're doing your research and you know how to do your research, it's not as scary. It's just like anything in life. You're going to have the risk no matter what you're doing and investing in. But if you're taking the risk on some solid projects that you believe in, as far as you're doing your research, then you're going to be fine. But a lot of people would say the same thing, like, "Man, I missed it," and it's like, okay, the opportunity is here, and then opportunity is here again. And are you going to be saying the same thing in another couple months if the market changes back and say, "Well, I missed it again"? So it's one of those things. I think when you're it's important when you're looking at different things of sometimes you gotta pull the trigger when you don't want to pull the trigger. So that's what we do, Jessica.
Yeah, like you say, we know how to look for solid projects, look for things with teams, communities, and things like that. So it's important to have some of those things in utility. And so if you know what things to look for, then you know that you can get those items, wait them out, or flip in and out of them. But it's very rewarding if you know what you're doing and you
Mm-hmm.
have those research skills, and you have a solid foundation on understanding the market and knowing that still, even though it's down right now, we know most people are still building in this space, and those that are going to be successful are still building in this space, and all that just flip money, because a lot of the times it's been a lot of people coming in getting high amounts of money for their flips and then getting out of projects. But you'll see a lot of projects do have solid communities where the project still will keep their price point. And once the market does return to a bull market, you usually are very rewarded for waiting it out, airdrops, whatever it may be. You
Mm-hmm.
usually are very rewarded in the things that you can get if you do hold on to certain projects.
And I think, and we've talked that too before, Jessica. As far as I know for us, and some of our projects, yes, we're definitely, as far as for us, it's a long-term investment for us. That's our strategy. But we're selective as far as which projects we will put in for a long-term opportunity. But it's also if you're buying things and you don't have a plan as far as things that you may be looking to do in the future with those particular NFTs, then you're pretty much just buying another NFT. And so for us, the stuff that we'll normally go on and say, well, hey, these are long term things that we're looking at. It's really a matter of we either have something in mind for business for those particular NFTs, and I think we've shared that before. everything in the wallet should have a job. In your wallet, in your NFT space, everything in there should have a job. It should be going to work, for you. And if you're building, again, I understand that takes a little bit of time to build something out like that. But if you're gradually getting the steps and putting the pieces together to create something for the things that are in your wallet, then you're going to be sitting very pretty, when everything starts really really evolving. You'll be ahead of the people who are just coming into the space and trying to figure out how to get their stuff out there. And so we do understand that aspect of it. So just be very selective as far as what you are considering keeping long term, but have a plan for those items that you are keeping long term. That's what we do.
Yeah, especially when you have those IPs and the brands, you can create your own brand from. So take good opportunity in that, especially for like most things that you're owning and the assets you're owning. You're not getting those IPs, but now that you can create a brand from it and you can use, even if you take Bored Ape or whatever it may be, they have restaurants and other things like that. And you take Fly Fish, you have a lot of different projects creating restaurants and giving community utility behind some of the NFTs they own. So just apply NFTs to your business. It could be very valuable down the line, especially when you can build royalties and things like that
Mhm.
now by having the sales and keeping money coming in from that way. So it's a lot of opportunity with NFTs, and that's why we do love it for the business side, investment side, and then just enjoyment of the technology and what it is bringing with Web3 and the decentralized portion of the internet. So it's really exciting to see some of the things that's going to be coming out and happening.
Good stuff. All right, so let me just start sharing screen here. Go over a couple of these articles that are out there. Okay.
Oh
Notice
yes,
this
everybody.
this was a big one.
Yeah, I've been seeing Twitter all this the last few days, couple days at least minimum, about the crypto punks getting the opportunity for 30 ETHs to get their pendant made out of the from Tiffany Co. And then it's only going to be 250, so I believe there's like 10,000 of these. So it is going to be very select and cause the price to go up. But as you can see, it did cause it to go up 248% just in
Yeah.
sales, just because of the announcement. I was like, I don't know if they read that it's only going to be 250, but that's perfectly fine.
After they spend 100, 200, $300,000.
That part. So, and then they have, like I said, it costs 30 ETHs. Whatever ETH is going to be when they come out, that's going to determine the price. ETH can be back up to $4,000 by then, or, lower or higher. So, a lot of people are excited. I know we spoke before about, like, even with the artifact and how the jewelry is going to see different brands come in, who will be able to make them, and now see, the CryptoPunks did actually do something with Tiffany Co. and got that partnership going. So you're going to see a lot of stuff like this with different NFTs that you own. It will give you opportunity to create, unique items, because your item, of course, generally are like one of a kinds. And so, yeah, it's great opportunity to see some of the things that are happening in this space. But it is a 30 ETH price, and of course, you do have to own a crypto punk. So, and there's going to be a set quantity of them. So don't just think you can go buy it and get it just because you have the crypto punk. But some people, of course, have that money. They're going to go buy the crypto cup and try to get it, and see how it goes. But 30 ETHs is 30 ETHs. So
It's no way around that.
it's no way around it. And to see that percent jump so high, it's like they didn't care. I didn't even get to go see what the floor was. I didn't go look at the numbers on it, but that's just amazing that people just it's news just like that when you're in certain projects that can get your project to go. And in that opportunity, if you have multiples, you can sell one of those on the way up, and clear some money for the year or whatever it may be that you're trying to do. But there are a lot of different opportunities, and then it just shows you how quick news can react to a project. It's like everything is in the moment. If you're there, you're there. If you can catch it, you can catch it. And so some people are, like I said, bottom, and we'll see how many 250 will. There should probably sell out, I would guess. 50,000 currently right now at the
I
price
would
of it.
think. Um, I think. I mean, because most people, like if they've already got the punk and they may have multiple punks. I mean, I think they're fine having 30 ETH. But it's about like I said, it is going to be about $50,000, and depending if they bought some ETH and when it was down to 1,000, now instead of it being 50,000, it will cost them 30,000. So I think again, we keep talking about buying, dollar cost averaging in on some of your cryptocurrency. This is why it's important to kind of dollar cost averaging on some of that crypto. Because again, hypothetically, you bought in when ETH was down to $1,000, you're not paying that extra $700 or $600, depending on what the current price of Ethereum is, and that's per ETH. So that makes a big difference. But this is I don't know. It's about
Yeah,
50,000.
18 karat rose gold, yellow gold. Yeah, so
I think
We'll
we can
see.
see.
People
We can
gonna
see.
buy it. I believe 250 isn't a lot at all, especially for the crypto
Right.
punks. The percent that it did go up to, definitely people have intentions in buying it no matter what. So they know maybe down the line too, if it's only 250, then the resale value of it. We'll see. So a lot of people have made a lot of money in crypto and in NFTs, and so they don't even look at that as a lot of money. But of course, there's everyday people that is still a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
And you,
50,000 is a car. It's a down payment on
it's a car. It's a car. Depending on where you're at
Tell
in
you
the
what
world,
car
it
to
might be
go
a
for.
house.
So a model,
You'd be like, well,
Oh
50,
man.
do I really need that 50? You'd be like, well, but it's going to be a big bragging thing as far as, and that's what, whether you like it or not, that is a part of the crypto space. Because again, you think about a lot of people who have a lot of money in crypto, it's like they're trying to figure out what to do to be on top of that or to have the best. And so that I think it's going to push this particular project. But again, it's going to be a thing as far as people with the crypto punks, what are they going to do? Oh, it's going to be interesting. But that's that. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you all. Okay, another
Oh yeah.
8.5 million round.
Yep, the one up NFT platform adds American Express as a backer in an 8.4 million round. It's just to show you, I know a lot of these platforms we've been buying off of. There's not a lot of resale or a lot of market stuff getting spit in the market over there right now currently. But you do anticipate that once they continue to build, that this is going to happen. Especially when you're seeing them now making connections with American Express, whoever may be
Mm-hmm.
Mastercard, Visa. They may have their own platforms that they're connecting with too. But as I said, most people in this bear market are building. They know this is the future still. There's a lot of scams right now, and so it's giving it a bad name in certain degree of certain things. But on the other side of it, as business and everything else, especially with authenticating things, people know that they want to be able to be in direct communication with their communities, and so NFTs will give them that opportunity. And so the more people, as you see, will still be building and still making those connections and still raising funds and just waiting for mainstream to come into it. Whenever they do come into it, everybody else is collecting along the way and making a living along the way. If you are still buying, it's not to say everything long
Mm-hmm.
term has to be long term. You always, of course, buy multiples is our rule. That way you can, if you need to sell along the way and still be able to make your living or whatever you want to do outside of just holding on to all your projects, because as you can see, markets go up and down no matter
Yep.
what. And so you definitely want to know how to take profit in the market. Don't just be caught up hoping and wishing that the price is going to continue to go up,
You
because
said hoping and wishing, Jessica, hoping and wishing.
that's a devastating thing. Don't go through that. If you you don't have to go through that. You'll see one thing, you could have sold at 50,000. Then when the bear market came in, it went as low as 15, and so you'd be like, well, at a
Yeah,
couple, I could have at least sold one at 50, and at the one, it's clear that it's a science of how we do things, or a
yeah,
process to how we do it. But yeah, don't get caught up. Make sure profits is everything. Profits will make you stay in. Don't leave the market.
right. And I think it's a big mistake a lot of people are making now. Even when you say everything's in a bearish market, a lot of people are leaving the market. And as we have said, we will be here. I think we've seen the bear market even as far as maybe not as deep or as bad as it's been, but even last year, again, well, actually June, July, everything was down. When you started looking at art, even on Nifty Gateway and stuff, a lot of art was down. But you look when the things rebounded and bounced back up, again, I think it's important buying the right stuff. You will be setting very pretty in some time. So again, don't be putting money that you can't afford to lose into because it may not ever come back. But at the same time, there is risk as far as being rewarded if you are. But I thought even in this article, I was sitting there laughing. I was like, okay, American Express. I think a lot of these credit cards and people, I know we talked about the banks. Everybody kept talking about, we've said it many times. Everybody said, well, this is a scam. Everybody thinks it's a scam. And banks wouldn't let you buy crypto. And now again, here it is. Another one is now still making connections within the crypto space. They wouldn't let you buy crypto with your cards and all those different things, but now they're getting invested in it. And like I said,
You
I
see the
felt,
millions and billions that
yeah,
OpenSea and everybody making, and they're like, we couldn't get none of that. Like, none of how are we going to get in on the fee or something? Like,
yeah,
can we do something on our end? And so, like you said, that they can't let that go by. It's millions and billions expected to be in this, especially for the like even you go to 2030, like there's so much growth that they're going to
mhm.
make in this money that they had to get involved whenever they do see something. Something's always illegal until, of course, never mind, don't. Yeah,
The right money has to get there. It's the right money. It's like
that's
that.
right.
But again, I still I don't care what they say. They can say what they want to say, but they've been doing this. I don't care if they have another business entity they've been using for this stuff to say that, but as they were saying and getting positioned over here, and not really you not paying attention to the little stuff that they had over here. They've been investing in this stuff. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy in regards to that. So, but again, I think that's. But again, it's good to see that some of those companies are coming out now. I think it will also help the crypto space, and then especially as monies continue to come into this particular
That's right.
space.
Oh
And
yes,
MetaMask,
the
about
Master Ethereum
time.
wallet
Hey.
update. Yeah, because I'm telling you, y'all permissions that y'all, when some people are connecting this stuff and they don't know what they signing away, what they giving somebody right to, they're
Mm-hmm.
not reading it right. Some people can change just a simple term in the words to say that, and you don't even know you're really accepting them to be able to remove everything from your wallet. So MetaMask has did a new update, and hopefully it'll allow you to know what permissions you are signing away. I haven't played with it. I haven't created a wallet and just played with it because I will never use my main wallet. So I really don't
Mm-hmm.
have, like, if you're really cautious and know how to do in the space, I wouldn't be connecting my main wallet to things that are new or anything like that. But there's so many
Right.
new people that come in, and even some people that are, veterans in the space. Sometimes, they can go to a Discord and it can be the wrong in the right Discord, but someone has put a scam link. So people have gotten, things removed from their wallets, millions of dollars. And so, especially when you have other, things like Ledger and other, cold storage wallets coming,
Mm-hmm.
competing in the market and adding, ways that it's going to be easier for you to use your wallet. MetaMask kind of probably, definitely had to do this. People are still mostly coming in using MetaMask and Trust wallets. And so then they're learning about Ledger once they maybe get to a certain amount of assets or a certain value of an asset. And so it's very important that MetaMask definitely took these steps to doing that. Like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen it directly of what permissions or what it's going to prompt you on just yet, but it is a safety precaution that they are kind of put in place so that all
Mm-hmm.
these scams can hopefully be eliminated. Because I even see one article where it was like one of the board apes, some of their scams was like mostly dominated by,
Yeah.
I forgot how many people it was, but it wasn't that many. And
Mm-hmm.
so, if someone knows how to scam this smart contracts or discourse, they are definitely taking, they're definitely doing it. And lots of times, like I said, it's a few people, and that's the same thing that was said to NFT projects. A lot of these copy paste NFT projects, I know in the end when people start doing if they can't track it down, it's not going to be too many people that were behind those things. It's going to be the same persons that make millions of billions of dollars
Yeah.
because they understood how to do and deal with smart contracts, and they understood both sides of it, how to scam you and how to, create them and create the
Mm-hmm.
contract on both. So definitely this is something hopefully will help toward NFT scams. I know even OpenSea has been doing some things with delisting items that are in your wallet that you don't accept that offering because it's not actually that item, or it's a lot of different scams. So definitely in this space, we're always saying, make sure you're cautious. Keeping doing security is very important. If you're going to be in the NFT space, you need to learn security, no matter what, and
Yeah.
protect yourself. Though, like I said, don't be connecting your main wallets to new things. You can always create a different wallet, and not knowing, even with saying that, if you create a wallet within a wallet, sometimes it's still connecting your seed phrase to the other wallets. So if you don't know everything, just make sure that you're very cautious. Not to say that you shouldn't go buy something, just know where you're buying from. Even if you're buying on the secondary market, it's important to know some of those things. And so hopefully this will help a lot of people because most people, as we know it, especially with mainstream, most people are going to be new to the space no matter
Mm-hmm.
what.
And I think it's important, like you said, you kept saying security, security, security. That's the whole thing. Because I mean, the worst thing that can happen to you, you've put all this money into buying all these different things, and then you're literally it can be gone instantly. And so I think you said a couple things when you were talking, Jessica. Even as far as connecting, having multiple wallets is going to be important when you're in this particular space. If you're minting something from a new site, that should never be your main wallet. It just should never be. And meaning your main, I'm trying to, I know we may have more advanced, but I'm trying to talk to the beginners. If it's your main wallet should be like, if that's going to be, if you had like major items that you've already bought and you know that they're very valuable, those should be, brother. I said, even if you, Jessica said, even as far as putting those on either a ledger or treasure wallet, so that you're not even the hardware gadget, so that you're not even connecting those, period, is even more important. But that's a next step. But let's just talk about your basic wallets, whether you're using MetaMask or Trust Wallet. that's going to be important to have a secondary wallet. Maybe you have two different wallets that have two different seed phrases, completely separate, that you only use that to mint in new NFT projects. And you only leave a little bit of money or a certain amount of money on that particular thing in case you happen to get on the wrong site. It's not going to have all of your assets in there. And so that, I think, again, new people, that's going to be one of the tips, that the most valuable tips I think that we could ever give you is, do things like that to try to keep yourself as secure as possible. And then, I think we've talked about it before, but to mention, even whether you're on a Discord or you're on someone's Twitter, whatever you're at, just be very careful. I don't even really click on links, especially if I'm in a Discord. If there's an announcement area, but even that part has kind of gotten a little bit. You kind of get a little leery even with the announcement aspect in Discord because of the hacks that's been happening with some of the admins who are part of those particular Discords. So just make sure, don't be in a hurry whenever it comes time to a particular drop or something. It's a matter of look at their Discord, look at their Twitter, compare the different things, and make sure you're getting the right information. But again, that's that. Also, using that secondary wallet will also help you in case you happen to, because like I said, it's happened to some very good people who have tried to be as secure as possible. But having that separate wallet, at least your main item still would not be drained if you happen to do something that you didn't mean to do. Okay, so very, very important on that. Okay, so that's gonna be that. Just because you had anything else on that, are we good on that?
I know we're good on that. Yes.
Okay,
Thank
good.
you. Oh,
All right.
AZ leads 50 million seed round for Gary V NFT project. So V Friends will use the investment to further build out the NFT character's intellectual property rights. So as Gary V has said, he is always trying to continue to build to the future success of whoever has already invested in the projects that he currently has. And you're gonna see that forever. That's what he's kind of put like his dying wish on, like no matter what, I'm forever going to be building and making sure you're successful. So
Mm-hmm.
and you'll see there's so many more opportunities that are he's trying to create for it, especially since I know with V France too, it did come out with like a higher count of 55,000, and truthfully it just wasn't enough people in the market right now to be buying it. And so you would think it is, but sometimes it's not. Definitely sometimes 10,000 right now is enough, and we know with mainstream we're definitely going to need a lot more than that. But when you only have a certain amount of the community that's currently buying in the market, then you're buying from each other more so than new people coming in buying and keeping the price going. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes projects just right now they're probably just staying at their price point, and they're continuing to build and make sure they're going to have intellectual properties behind it. You never know what can be created. Cartoon store, it's just so much stuff that you can do if you know how to do it or know the opportunity and see the opportunity of what Web3 will be creating for you with owning certain NFTs, especially when you have someone that's building out the IP side of things and making sure it's going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, have to create everything on their IP side. And so we'll see what it's going to do, what opportunity it's going to create. But he is one person that's definitely leading the space, has different projects. Some people may not like he has multiple projects, but I see opportunity, and where opportunity is, I understand why he is. If it's there, it's there. You to
Yeah.
just watch it and say, no, I'm only going to do one project. There's multiple projects and even things he's invested in, even with some sports stuff that's going on and other projects. We
The
had the
fly
book
fish.
games. Yeah, Fly Fish for the
Mm-hmm.
restaurant. So if there's someone that is to watch in this space, even if you don't like the projects, it is definitely Gary V. He's done, he's done other stuff previous before that's never been in the NFT space, and so he brings a lot of people even into the NFT space that have been following him business wise for years before. Even when I remember we're at in the Milwaukee, we met some people that
Minnesota.
had
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with NFTs, but they knew him from his other events, and so. He definitely has a lot of different, pool and what he can do, and different resources and connects, I should say. And so some people are, definitely following Gary V. We've invested in certain projects with Gary V. And we're just showing you some of the things that are still currently going on for some of the projects, 50 million round.
But I got that. Did you get that in the mail? The cards that came in a little box too. Have yours come in?
I'm
It was
sorry.
it was
Wait,
some of the little orange boxes that had the little trading cards in them.
that was that for the book games?
I think it must have been for good book game. Listen, I ordered. I can't remember what I bought it for.
See, I knew they did some cards with Uno before too. They had some specific Uno cards and stuff that you can order that was specific to V France, but I'm not sure.
I
I
think
don't know.
Nancy has mine. I don't have mine
Yeah,
in the
I'm gonna go double
office.
check the
Mhm.
mailbox now.
Yeah, mine
Oh, it's
came.
from
Mine is
series two. Okay, okay.
that's series two. Okay.
Yes, that's from
Oh,
series two.
Okay, good. So yeah, that was a some of those cards did come in the mail. If you did order those, so be on the lookout for those. It was when we claimed some. When we claimed, we got the cards. That was right. We did that one. There was one claim you could do one of the minting things, and then you were able to claim the cards also. So I I got a couple of those that came in the mail. If Betsy, if one of my people
I
here
think
in
we're
my
still waiting for that. They're doing that one with if you bought the VCon ticket, it was him and Snoop Dogg doing some partnership too.
yeah, that we're still
That
waiting
one
for
hasn't
that.
come out yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's supposed to be coming out too. So that's that. Okay. All right, let's move on. All right, me bits. I would keep thinking on these me bits. I'm like, I've been so close to selling me bits multiple times, and I'm like, okay, I'm
There's
gonna keep
so
the
many
me bits
times to
again.
sell it too.
I'm like, yes, we need some news for the me bits. Please,
Oh
somebody send some
man.
news. What are you doing with the me bits? Shoot.
Yeah,
So,
so you're gonna see, the right company does own them. So I guess at
the
any
right
point they
company
can
owns them.
choose
That's what
to do
why I keep
something.
holding on to the doggone things. The only reason right now.
Oh man.
But I know that they're coming out with some things as far as trying to do some different things with their IPs and stuff, even with the me bits. And so I think it's going to be interesting. I'm literally waiting. I think I've been waiting very patiently for the me bits to try to do what they want to do. But again, I think the big acquire from Yuba Labs too also did help the project. I think their price has been like, if I can see their prices on this one sheet, let me see. I want to say they've been like 4.75 is what the me bits current prices are. But again, it's one of the projects that, as far as if you're trying to get in still with Yuba Labs, again, not to say 4.75 is not no money. I'm not saying that at all. Just trying to give you other ideas of some of the things that they do have out there, along with some of their land that the other beaches. So that's just me. I'm biased. Just to be like, nope. so so again, stuff that they're still continuing to do. It is good to see that they are starting to do some things with the me bits, and so hopefully this will turn some things and make these things start moving, because I think they've been stagnant. They'll sit there for a certain price, but again, I think it has a lot to do with a lot of these were given as airdrops, and so that aspect can affect when you have some people who have a ton of these. They can gradually keep that price range at a certain price, especially if they're getting rid of some of those. And until all of those people have been moved and they don't own as many and control most of the market, then they're going to sit there at that certain price until that happens, or until they put another big announcement out.
Came
So
in early anyway, so it don't really matter. I
yeah,
mean, some people just waiting it out. If you could afford to wait it out, you waiting it out. And, that's is what it is.
I'm trying. I just need some more something from them. So, but that's cool. Okay, and then I know the Ape Coin too. They've now the Dow has funded the Bored Ape news site for $150,000. Again, whether you like it or not, that's not. I'm just showing you some of the articles that are out there, and so I think again, I know some people were a little bit upset too, because it's the people that are actually still doing some of the writing are definitely still, they own some of the Bored Apes. Which, I mean, what do you want them to do? I don't know what else you want them to do. It's like, it is what it is. I need some more information as far as what's going on, so it will help people stay in
It's
the loop.
rigged over there. Yeah, I'm just playing. I'm
I'll
just
take the rigging.
listen. If you can ride the rig, then you can ride the rig.
Ride the
Don't get
rig.
caught up in it.
We are not
Don't
rigged over
get,
here.
yeah,
Do
don't get
not be
caught
talking
up in
about
it.
my
Buying it at the
community.
highest point of its record all time high. You bought it low. You can ride the market cycle highs and lows and not be had a loss still. But
Do
some
not talk
people
about
did,
our community.
spend
Our community is
millions.
a very good community over here.
She say it's a very good community.
Yeah, leave it alone. No, but again, I think again, it's to me, even whether the Bored Apes. I mean, I still own my Bored Ape, obviously. I'm I still think, because of, like, even with the airdrops and stuff that have happened, and I think as more, I know we were talking about artifacts a little bit earlier, some of their tweets and stuff that they were talking about. They've just been teasing at things as far as how they're going to reward their, either whether it's the long term holders and stuff like that. I think that's important, and I think for people who've been committed to some of these projects, if you stick it out in some of these projects, you're going to be really, really rewarded.
Yeah,
Um,
because most of them are building coins into their ecosystems, and most of them with
mhm.
NFTs is that you have airdrops for a lot of these projects, and that's even if it's not another NFT, if it's a coin, even if the NFT you can go sell for coins. So it's like
Yeah.
that how NFTs are created and how they benefit the community and the people that invest into it is like a partnership. I'm going to invest my money and my time into you, and you're going to reward me back off of,
Hmm.
with airdrops. And so, especially certain projects, they have definitely figured that out. Definitely Bored Apes been one of them. Then dropping the mutant apes, the serums, and then you got dogs and everything else that's come out of it. And then
So
you
for the
go to
new people, those are airdrops that she's saying.
oh
So I'm not.
yeah,
Let's not assume that the
yeah.
new people know what
That's
airdrops
right,
are.
yeah. And then you even go, artifacts. They got the Clone X, you have crypto kicks, you have so many different items that have come out. You have space pods, loot pods. And so certain projects have been very rewarding of their community. And so you definitely want to look for those projects and be part of those. And if you know you're early right now and the coin has not come out, but generally when it does come out, you get an
Hmm.
airdrop. Some people are holding on to that. And some people, of course, have made coins along the way and cashed out $100,000 or so
Hmm.
from selling their item, and more power to them. And maybe they're now starting a business, and maybe they've bought a house. And so no matter what, that's why I say don't be down on yourself if you've had to sell. That's like crazy. So like people
Yeah.
can sell, change your life. Why not change your life? That's what it's there for. So of course, even though as we say we're long-term holders, we create generational wealth and stuff, but we may have plans for that. There may be reasons for that of why we're doing it, but create your own plan to it and then pick the right projects. And like I say, look at the importance of airdrops and understand how they are applied to NFTs. And you'll be like, well, why wouldn't I be buying game assets in the first place? Like I can resell those. I can get coins for those. Like it's just too many things that you can, that's an opportunity when you are doing play to earn games and other things like that.
Good stuff. Good. Good. Okay, so let's what I wanted to kind of show you guys the next thing as far as some of the things that we kind of use when we are, and to give you guys a few tips as far as how we do some things when we're trying to find new projects. And literally on the screen, you can see most of the time this is like a checklist thing that we'll kind of do simply by writing down what's the name of the project. What's the project name and and start researching, because I think again everybody always says, well, give me the next big thing. I want to know the next big thing. And it's like, okay, well, you got to start somewhere. You got to start on Twitter, start researching some places and figuring out if if it's even a legitimate project. Because if you're just getting in based off of someone you're maybe watching or someone that gave you a tip, don't get me wrong, there are sometimes people you can follow that will give you very good projects to at least start researching. But you need to know how to research too. I think that's the biggest part, where I think a lot of people have the downfall is they don't take the time to learn how to research, and they just are waiting for someone to tell them what the next project is that they need to be buying, and you
Yeah,
don't
I don't
want to
even
be
know
that.
the point of the project. Like, what's the point of the project? Is the project gonna be here a week, or the project gonna be here years? Like, there's ways to look at that. The people showing themselves, like you said, we go to the name of the project, of course, searching the websites and everything like that. But also, is it something that you're trying to stay in? Is it something that you want to be a long term play? You have to look at each project the same and evaluate those things. So, definitely, like you say, these tips, and then the how many followers do you have on Discord? Not to say like one way or another. Discord can, of course, create followers, or they can be fake followers.
Say
And
that one more
sometimes,
time.
yeah, they can be definitely fake followers. Hundreds of thousands of people in a Discord is definitely probably some fake followers. And so it goes on both sides of it. The numbers can be low too, and you can be early to a Discord and get allow list spots because you were one of the first ones to find out about the Discord. So
Mhm.
there's different opportunities of followers being on the low side. Not every followers that are low is a scam. Like you go in there, you might see 500 people, and you might turn back around. And so there's been benefits of being that early into Discord, especially for us, getting allowed listed, getting certain drops,
Mhm.
be able to find about alpha, about different projects. So definitely the followers are important, but not to look at it as, okay, I should get this project because it has this amount. Lots of time, high amounts of Discord followers could be definitely, like I said, paid for Discord members, or somebody has
Mhm.
figured out how to create that Discord to have a high amount, for whatever reason or not. People do that too for you. So
Yeah.
definitely knowing how many followers they have, both sides of it can be beneficial.
Because I know, when you talk about, even with when we talk about just the website in general. I mean, I've there's been some groups that may put something out, and they're like, well, here's the website. If you go look at the website, that might be the flag to be like, you probably should not invest in this project. Because if you look at their website and they haven't even taken the time, and I get the aspect of people are starting new, and that shouldn't be all end all as far as you making that decision. But when it's my money, I'm going to at least make sure your website look right. I'm going to at least make sure you've spelled some words right on there. I'm going to at least make sure if you have any white paper or anything about your project uh, or
Roadmap.
your roadmap, that it's like reachable things, because I think everybody gets so hyped up right now because someone puts on their roadmap that they're going to have a metaverse. It's like, okay, when you gonna have a metaverse and what we're gonna do in the metaverse? And so, it used to be that was a key word. A lot of people would put in metaverse, 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 and everybody would like, oh, this is a particular game, or it's a particular NFT project that's going to have a metaverse. But if they ain't gonna do nothing in the metaverse, it's just another game that has land in the metaverse.
That or a comic book. There was always something. You're gonna get a comic book or some land. And so, like, even if you say looking at the project website, some of those you can go to and realize you'll start seeing the same setup to the same type of project, just with
Yep.
a different picture, with a different name. And so
Yep.
you'll start getting an eye for that too. Also, like, well, hold on, this look like this last project that was just out. You don't see nobody docs. So, like you're saying, going to the project's website, seeing who the team members are, using their sites, get onto the official sites to see the Discords, the Twitter pages, seeing how they're interacting with the community. The
Mhm.
project, especially graphic wise, can say a lot about how much money the project is putting into it. If it's just a standard, you created that website on Wix page, or if you actually had,
Mhm.
actually stuff built into it. Even that goes as far as the MetaMask, if they're using different platforms, a MoonPay, different things that you can use cards and stuff for, you'll know how much money, like I said, they've put into that website. So it is important on both sides to double check those things and see which way, like I said, are they copy and paste, or is this like a
Yeah.
website that has all the information, all the resources? Let me track this person down, track that person down. Because sometimes you'll see like a lot of the project managers are on that page will a lot of times use their own profile pics, but they won't also use their official name.
Mhm.
Using your profile pics is known for a lot of the projects. You're going to use the ones that you own, but sometimes you'll also notice on the pages that if it's not an actual like legit project, those pages don't connect you to a real person. You can't find them on LinkedIn. You can't find them on Twitter. And it's important to look at those things if you're talking about especially
Mhm.
long-term plays that you want to
Mhm.
stay in and be in. You want to know who you're investing in and who's saying they're going to do what.
Yep. And I think more important too, as far we're talking about them looking at some of their social platform. I mean, if they haven't posted for months or like weeks, that can tell you about your communication with that particular project. Again, I'm not saying, especially if they're maybe on Twitter, they may be on Discord. I'm not saying they have to be in there posting every day, all day. That is, I'm not asking nobody to have a job. I get that part. I don't want a job either. But if I'm going to invest my money, I at least want to know that you're engaging in your with your community, because community makes you or break you while you're in this particular space. It literally, if your community is horrible and everybody's mad, that's from, like, if we go to Discord and we're ever looking at Discord or even people on Twitter about that particular project and everybody is negative in there, I don't even waste my money, because there's too much opportunity for another great community that you can go into and have a good vibe of people that you really wouldn't mind meeting at a particular NFT conference or something. That's the difference from some of these groups that are creating some of these NFT projects. It's like, I don't even want to be a part in the Discord. It's like, let me just get out. I don't even want to. I don't want to even be a part of their project, simply because the community don't even get along. So I think
Mhm.
that's going to be very important. When you're looking at their platform, of have they done any posts recently? Are they putting new information or putting any updates out there about what their project is doing? Especially if you've been invested. If they're not communicating with you about updates, and like I said, I'm not an update every day. Nobody wants a job to update you every day. But at least sometimes give me an update of what's happening.
Yeah, well,
So,
like you said, that goes into are you engaging with the community? You have to
mhm,
in this space, especially like even if you're not using Twitter, you'll know that Twitter is the space for social media. I mean, for NFTs specifically and their projects. And so, if you're not engaging with the community and the community doesn't know what's going on, then the community is probably going to leave the project. And so, engagement with the community, especially, is very important to keep people around. Like I said, the community is who's going to make you successful because they're buying your project, they're keeping the project in their wallet because they're believing in you. If you don't have that community, then and you're not engaging with them, then they don't know what's going on. If we don't know what's going on, then you're getting skeptical about what you now have spent your money on, and now I'm going to go sell it, and now the project is going down. So definitely those things, like she's saying, is very important. And then you go like the big companies who sponsor them, are venture capitalists behind them? Is it certain
mhm.
projects? Even like when you go to Sandbox, they were starting to have Atari, Care Bears. They were like getting all types of different people that were sponsoring them. Or if you go to venture capitalist side of things, if you're talking about Amico brands and stuff, you'll see that a lot of different companies are making big moves, are investing in a lot of different projects that are already NFTs, or acquiring them. And so
Hmm.
you'll see this is there money behind them to be able to stay afloat. Like, Artifact, of course, we say that a lot, got acquired by Nike. They were worth money before, but getting acquired by a big company like that, even in these bear markets, they know that they are going to be perfectly fine no matter what it is. And so when you have money and millions or billions of money dollars behind you,
Hmm.
you'll know the success of that company has far more possibility of being successful than not.
Yeah, because Nike don't want to look bad. Be like, what, you gonna make me look bad? No, you're not gonna make Nike look bad.
They over there experimenting right now. They let Artifact take the reins on stuff. Artifact knows the metaverse side, the virtual side. They've been already
Yeah.
doing the shoes and doing, stuff that was visually for quite some time. I said I think their main thing that they'll even tell you is technology has been their hinder. They already have ideas to like 2050 or 2052. And so you'll see that certain projects, if you know that they are building for the future, then you are looking to be in those projects, not
Hmm.
just one looking to be there this month with no real plan or goal. And so also those projects that can make partnerships, are they making partnerships as they go along? Even sometimes projects will be down, but you can't look at them at a whole right now because there's only so many people investing
Yeah.
in them. Even as far as women, there's only so many women investing in certain projects too. So certain projects that can be successful just don't have the people in them. So you want to see, are they still making partnerships with companies? Are they still building out? And those things will be important to watch for.
And I think one of the other thing as far as how long has the project been out, and have they previously worked on projects before? Because I think sometimes, again, trying to get in early, that is everybody's always trying to figure out what's the next greatest thing to get into early, because obviously you want to get it as cheap as possible. Um, but if you're finding some projects where, especially if there's people who are out there and all they're doing is just starting projects and moving on, starting projects and moving on to the next one, starting project, moving on to the next one, it's like that's track record. It's like that whatever you're buying, it's not going to be a long term play. It's like it's a matter, if when you're buying from this particular person, you're going to be buying to get in and doing a flip to get out. That's all you're buying on their particular project. So start tracking people that you're looking at buying. And if you ever find someone or a company or an individual that's doing a very, very good job of continuing to build out some of the projects that they've already started, and they start something new, that's the ones that you want to invest in. You don't, I mean, you really, that those are the people who are going to be committed long term into this particular space. And it's not just a money grab. I know we've talked about it many times before with a lot of the celebrities. You're looking like, okay, how long are you going to be here? Is this just another money grab? You're just coming and creating an NFT with a picture of you, but what are you going to do with that? What happens after I buy your NFT? And if there's nothing for me to do after I bought your NFT, I don't need your project. I don't need another picture of you in my wallet. It
I
just,
don't want to name people.
yeah, don't name people. No, we're on a good call, Jessica.
Yeah.
Don't name no people right now.
We don't name anybody that's done that already. That's come out and did that, but yeah, like you say, they use celebrities because a lot of
But I
people know
still
the
got that
celebrities
sorry
already.
person in my wallet. But we
The
ain't gonna name no
celebrities
people.
already have the community, and so sometimes, like you say, they'll just go find a celebrity that has a good following behind them and just use them for that NFT, and that's
Mhm.
all it was. There wasn't no, you're going to get access to me at this event. There wasn't no, you're going to have utility to be able to get this from me or this type of item. None of that. It was just, hey, go buy it because this person came out with it or took a picture with it. And so
Mhm.
even with the starting price on the item, know what it did come out at, to know, and then ETH is different prices, but if you know how to use Etherscan and stuff like that, you can track things back. Lots of time on their site, they may have the mint price, and then it's you
Mhm.
going to a chart and seeing what ETH was at that price point. But just know the starting price of that item, because like I say, lots of times you're buying items very cheap, and then they're coming to be thousands of dollars that you
Yeah.
can sell those out of. So knowing the starting price is very important. Um, and does it
Yeah.
come with a physical item? And that's the depending on, like, if we go talking about shoes and clothes and
Mhm.
clothing, that's one thing. But if you're talking about like art and stuff, that's completely different. We even know, there's going to be displays that will be able to display art, so it's going to be like totally separate. So a lot of people don't think that they're going to be able to show the art that they're buying as NFTs, but we know, of course, with the different things that are out there, with the different frames, with the different TVs that are created, that they're going to be able to display those things in high resolution 4K, very high resolution for the art that you are buying. So it is going to be very nice, but you just, of course, have to pay for certain types of items that are currently being made in this space to be able to display them. But Yeah, physical item, depending on what it is. We've seen both sides of that. Some people care about those physical items and some don't. And it probably is going to be depending on what type of item that is.
I love physical items. Let me for the record.
But if you are only getting, if you get an NFT and you try to say, okay, you can go claim this shirt for this and this and that, sometimes on one side of it, the people aren't in it for that and they would lose. And I'm not naming projects. On the other side, on the other side, if you do have projects that have had the right connections or have the right branding behind it, where you know those shoes are already setting high amounts of resales because they may be, a Nike branded shoe or a Jordan or whatever, then you of course want those physical items. Even to say, you have a rare item that most people don't even know are being out right now, and so definitely we love physical items. We have a lot of different physical items from different people. And, and the projects come out and let you have the be able to go to their site, order you the things that you do want. So I definitely love the physical items of things, but we know that it's not only about that. There can be utility to getting you
Yeah.
access to certain things, education. It can get you things, private events. It can get you access to. There's so many different things it can do. So just not the physical item side of things, but we love physical items.
Yeah, she said we love physical items. We wear it. No. So, okay. Well, listen. Hopefully, you got some tips. That again, we wanted to just try to share some tips with you as far as, especially if you're new. Just some things as far as things that you need to start putting down to where you can say, hey, this is what I need to do when I'm looking at projects. Again, not to say that these are all the tips and all the things that we definitely use, but we wanted to share some tips of what we use and when we're considering investing in some of the projects, because I think the more new people that come into the space, again, that's more capital that can come into the space, which means everybody could end up making more money. As more people are coming in and buying some of these things and investing in some of these things, there's more money to be made within the space. So remember, if you do have friends and family, continue to send them to whatsnfts.com. Whatsnfts.com. That is our free Facebook group. We continue to put information out there, whether it's articles and or information about different drops and stuff. It's free. It's completely free for you all to join that aspect of it. We do also have our monthly membership that is a paid part of that. So if we'll put information on our site about that also. But again, the free site is whatsnfts.com. If you'd like to send any friends or family, I don't care if there's even kids that you have. Again, I think even kids can do very, very well within this NFT space. So remember, we do have a lot on our YouTube channel also. So a lot of content we've already recorded from the previous classes, and you can go back and watch some of those things, and that'll give you some more information about NFTs. And so we love the space. We're not going anywhere because we believe in what's going to be happening with the NFT space. We will continue to invest. And so once again, thank you all so much for hopping on with us today. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. And then, like always, we will see you all next week, next Tuesday, same time, same place. You guys have a fantastic rest of your day.
Yes, have a great one.